So problem solving is very simple, but it's something that a lot of people struggle with. So here's my solution that is pretty rudimentary, but it is flawless and it works every time. It's a simple formula. So you have the start when you realize you have your problem. You have your decision time, which is a variable, it's going to change. And then you have the time where you need to execute. So that's the formula for every problem you're going to have in your life. And so you have the time where you realize that you have the problem, you have the amount of time to find a solution, and then you have to execute on the solution. So first, when you start, list out or think about every single possible solution you can use. Think about all of your options and put them out there. Then eliminate them however you would like until you get down to preferably your best two options. I usually notice when I do it, I end up with two options that are, these are both nice, these will both kind of work. And then you have the time until your execution time to think about what you would like to do. And then when it comes to your execution time, all you need to do is you need to execute with the plan that you believe is best. One issue that I noticed when I got to execution time was I was kind of going around in my head where I was like, is this the best option? Am I really making the right decision? And then it would give me some stress, it would give me some anxiety, and it would make it a lot more difficult to execute. So when you get to execution, all you need to do is understand that you're choosing the best option and executing it. Don't think about it, don't feel too emotional about it, because there's going to be some problems where they don't really have a lot of great solutions, and you just have to do what is best. And so to run through it with an actual situation that happened in my life is after I graduated college, I was working a grocery store job, trying to find a job for my degree, and I was very poor. I had almost no money, and the transmission on my truck broke. So I needed to get the transmission fixed, but the issue was I still needed to get to work every day in the meantime. And so at the time I listed out all the solutions that I believe I had. And so some of them were, I could borrow money from someone, I could rent a car, which is pretty expensive, I could rent a U-Haul, which is slightly less expensive, in the meantime till I get the money to fix my truck. And so at the time, what looked like the best option was try to take a loan from a friend or family and pay them back later so that way I could get the truck fixed and still go to work. Now, so at the time I had my possible solutions, I had my best option, but I still had time to think about it until I needed to execute because I was using a friend's car at the time to get to work. And so one day when I was driving to work, I saw a guy flying down the sidewalk on an e-bike going like 30 miles an hour. And it clicked in my head, and I realized that an e-bike was actually an option for me because my work was close enough to where I could take a bike to work. And I had $1,000 saved, but I didn't have $5,000 to fix my truck. And so that was what I considered at the time a genius solution, where I could spend money to get to work, and in the meantime I could just save up after that to get my truck fixed. And so that's another important idea, is you're going to create a list of solutions for your problem, but you don't always know everything. And so sometimes your brain is working it in the background, and you will come to a new solution through the time, hopefully before you need to execute, and it'll be like, oh, I can do this. Or like me, you will see something that will inspire you, and then you can add that to your list of solutions and possibly use that as the newest best solution. And so this is the rudimentary basic formula, but this is extremely useful at problem solving and extremely useful at decision making. So if you're struggling with that in your life, use this.